Alrighty, I'm gonna show off a little command line tool that I created to help filter images from a directory. Oftentimes, working for LA Design Concepts, I found myself maybe getting a giant zip file or some kind of FTP that I have to access, and I just get a huge file containing, you name it, 8,000 images, 10,000 images, 40,000 images. It's hundreds of thousands of images. And oftentimes maybe I only need uh, 50 or 100 or 1,000, depending on the application. So I made a command line tool, and I'll show you how it works. So you'll often end up, processing the raw data, and you'll end up knowing the file names of the image, because they're often based on uh, maybe the SKU or the ID of the product. So you'd have a huge column. The real, who knows, every manufacturer is different, but you may end up with an image that's a number, and then maybe even like a pattern name or something like that, you know, and some kind of weird code. It could be anything, but the point is they're all strings. So I'm going to make a CSV file with the header image and the names of the image file names that I want, and just quickly save that as a CSV file. So you just save that as a CSV file. Let me save that somewhere easy to desktop, and call it images. Save that, and then to make it work with my command line tool, I'm just going to go to a CSV to JSON website. You can even paste in the CSV. You don't need to even save the file to do it. But for the purposes of the demonstration, I will. So, I saved it to the desktop, didn't I? Not downloads. Desktop, where are you? There you are. So images.csv, and you can see it's got our CSV, and then it can convert it to JSON for us. I'm not going to review it, and we get our JSON like that. We can download our JSON also to the desktop in this case, and we'll also name that images.json. So we've got our JSON file now. Now I've got my JSON file. On the desktop. It's not this one. Let me get rid of that one. And maneuver my way here. Let me go back, images.json file into my testing directory here. So now it's in my directory, and say I had a huge folder of images. I've only got 5 here, but imagine this was a 10,000 images folder. How am I going to find the 100 I need manually? You're not going to do that. Obviously, for 2, I could easily pick out the ones I need, but when you're talking in the hundreds, the thousands, the tens of thousands, it's not practical to manually sift through a folder of images that big. So what I've done is create a command line tool that can be used from within the directory. So I'm in that. Let me back out of the images directory here. I'm in that test directory with the images and the images.json file. Now, I've created the LA Design Concepts command line tool here. And basically, I've created one command that's find image files in a directory and create copies in a new directory. So you just type LADC find, and we can look at the help for that first, because that has some options. Now, you can supply it the name of the JSON file, the name of the source folder full of all your images, and the name of a new folder you want to create that just has the images you want in it. And there's some defaults here to make life easy. So oftentimes your source with all your images is going to be called images, which it is in this case. So this is where we are in the command line. We're in this level. And images.json is going to be the JSON file, but you can name it whatever you want as long as you supply the option, which would be like LADC find. Then you could do -j is, custom.json. And that's the same if your source file was something else. Source, my images would be the name of the folder, and you can name the destination file whatever you want. So we can pass in a custom destination folder if we want, but we can just run it. We'll just run it first with the normal find command. So boom, we're going to run it, and we're going to see a little information. Copy. Remember, we only wanted 1 and 4. That was what our JSON file said. Remember, our JSON file is the images we want. We can take a look at that just to double check it. See, image 1 and 4 are the only images that we needed from our original. Started as a CSV file, went to a JSON file. And now we have our new images directory, and it just contains the images we want. And then we can move along and process these, optimize these for the website. And that's going to save a lot of time and effort and hard drive space and everything else. And now you should be able to do a custom directory by entering the -d or -- destination. So for shorthand, it's -d, and you can name it, whatever. So that should create a new folder called whatever with the images in it. So you can name the folder whatever you want with this tool. And this tool is just a simple it's just a simple node script. Pretty cool, actually. And I'll put the code. Whoops. I'll put the code up at GitHub. Thanks.